learned a lot from what I have seen here and what I have read about this school in the last few days. Before this, through social talk and at other times, I was aware that this is one of the best schools here and in the state. One of the problems of speaking or addressing when you are number 4 or 5th speaker is much of what you have thought to speak is already told or expressed by your previous speakers. So I'll make an attempt not to repeat what my previous speakers have told. My first set of advice from here will be to the parents here. The parents here, all of them have been successful citizens to different degrees. Our expectations of a successful parent is that we expect much from our kids. In the oft-quoted words, we unconsciously or consciously try to fulfill some of our unfulfilled achievements through our kids. We should refrain from it. It's easier to say, difficult to do. I learned it practically a few years back in my life. I'll narrate a personal example. As Shri Das told, my daughter did law from Delhi. Then she didn't want to join any law firm. What do you do as a parent? I approached one senior judge in Delhi for guidance. Before that, I made sure that my daughter met the concerned judge. After interacting with my daughter, when I met him, he said, "Please don't impose your ideas on your daughter." It was, see, how do you go about it? That was a challenging thing for me. My daughter didn't follow my advice. I argued with her, but I respected her, whatever I can say, her future course of action. And today, after 3 years, I'm happy what she's doing. Why? I don't know, very few of us 40 years back did different from what our parents told us. I was also one of them. My father wanted, he was professor in the university. As is common for middle-class families, he wanted me to be an engineer or a doctor. I was more interested in literature, political research, etc. We used to have differences on what I should study. Finally, after seeing my commitment, he permitted me not to go for engineering, and I'm happy for that. But rarely, I'm coming to another point. Parents spend time with their kids when they do not talk about studies. As parents, we have to talk about studies, about their school, but then how much before advising them, we should know of their interest, how to go about it. It's a difficult process, but only once we know their interests, we can advise them. For the kids, for the students, many of them, I'll say, are much brighter, much more focused, much more intelligent, hardworking, as I have seen today and read from your school magazine. As my previous speaker said, jobs in future will be different. The openings will be many. But one thing will always be there. That is, there always be place at the top. Whatever discipline you choose, be it conventional or unconventional, try to reach the top of that, and recognition does come in some fields in a short time, in some fields in a longer time. Associated with that, today much focus is on being healthy. My advice to kids will be, try to engage your mind more than what you do today or what you have done in the past. Think more, even be it sports. Sports is a test of physical stamina, preparation, hard work, but also of mental rigor. Many of the kids here must be following cricket. I also follow to a certain extent. Last week, our national team bowler, Ashwin, he reached the milestone of 300 wickets in a record number of matches. One of the things which struck me, as per the newspaper reports, was he is not very athletic in body build, or in his movements, but he applies his mind much more to the game. And that was one of the reasons mentioned for his success. So the students have to take that clue from there. In whichever field you are, whichever is of your interest, apply your mind and soul to that much more than the ordinary. The success of teachers would be, in future, how to let this happen. I don't have ready-made solutions, but this is my advice. As many of you must be knowing, most of us, I think, utilize only 3 to 4% of our mental capabilities. Those of us who utilize 5 to 6% or slightly 1 or 2% more, they are termed geniuses or outstanding achievers in their own fields. So my advice, please have the teaching methodology in which they are able to exercise their mind more, they are able to think creatively, think differently in a constructive manner, and then also to implement what they think creatively and differently from others. Finally, on a very personal note, when I saw the invitation card for this function, I saw the word Kshitij. That happens to be my son's name also. And the final thing which I can say is, if my kids were 15 years younger, then I would have definitely made attempts to put them into this Oakridge school. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for being with us today and sharing your candid and humble approach to learning new avenues in life. We now request our school director, Mr. Avnish Singh, to present a memento as a token of appreciation to the chief guest, Shri Ajay Mishra, for his gracious presence here on this occasion. Thank you, sir.
We request the Vice Principal, International Curriculum, Ms. Hema Chennupati, to present the vote of thanks.
Good evening, everyone. It's a slightly chilly evening, but I think we're all prepared for it. Greetings to all of you on the 17th Founders' Day of Newton Campus. I know all of you are very impatient to watch the rest of the program, but this is one job that we need to do. I promise to be quick about it. It is an honor and a privilege to present the vote of thanks today. We are what we are because of our parents. And here at Newton Campus, we are what we are because of the hand of blessing of Mr. Shomi Das. He envisioned Oakridge and guided it with love and care and sane advice. Thank you, sir, for being there for us always. We especially thank our chief guest for today, Mr. Ajay Mishra, for his thought-provoking words and his insightful feedback. Thank you, sir, for taking time out today from your busy schedule and making this event more special. We have been guided in this great journey by stalwarts as we follow the grand action plan of our chairman, Mr. Nag Prasad Thummala, and the inspiration of our dear MD Sir Rajshekhar Babu. Their friendship is what legends are made of. Today's speeches bore testimony to that. Mr. Prasanna Mandava, who has a heart of gold and drives things with sheer grit and determination, relentlessly striving for excellence in all areas related to school success. Mr. D.V.R.K. Prasad, a strong supporter of the Oakridge community and our window to the outside world. We also thank all the other dignitaries from the People Combined family, Mr. Rajiv Tupsakri, Mr. Devi Datta Kunungo, Mr. Sridhar, Mr. Pularao, and some other names which I may not be able to mention now or be able to remember, sorry, for their relentless support, and it is definitely appreciated, your support to the campus. A special and well-deserved thank you to the think tank of Newton campus, the SMT members, led by the dynamic duo, the director, Mr. Avnish Singh, and the principal, Mr. Arjun Rao. We lovingly call them the Karan Arjun of the campus. Ably and fantastically supported by the capable and lovely ladies, Ms. Ritu Agarwal, Ms. Shweta Verma, and Ms. Shaila Bamidpati, and the supercharged Mr. Prasad Yaramsetti, the bursar of the campus. A huge round of applause for them. Thank you to the academic team, led by the program coordinators, grade level coordinators, ably supported by the heads of faculty. The activity team, led by the activity coordinators, Ms. Sonali Roy and Ms. Meda, and their heads of faculty as well. The